What's up, everybody? It's your girl Age, and I'm here with you all to discuss the next episode of Pit Babe, episode 10. Y'all, so much has happened in episode 9. I feel like it's about to get exceptionally worse for X Hunter in the next few episodes. Okay? Episode 9 really had me in my feelings. Like, wait, fucking. And then my baby Kim, whoo, child. Like, so I am so excited and nervous to start episode 10. But doesn't matter how I feel, let's get into it. This episode starts with Babe begging Alan to race again, even though he is still hurt and even though Alan told him no multiple times. But Babe is hard-headed and persistent, so Alan decides to let him. Not that he could stop him anyway. And Charlie sees Babe dressed to race the next day, and Charlie is vehemently against him racing. When Charlie asks Alan why is he letting Babe race, Alan said he was against it too, but of course he couldn't resist Babe, aka couldn't do anything to stop him. Alan was like, me and Babe built this team together. Then Babe decides to get mad at Charlie and basically accusing Charlie of not believing in him because he doesn't have his powers. Thinking, oh, you don't trust my skills. You think that the only reason I won my races was because I could sense things, hear, see, smell things stronger than other people. And Charlie is like, that's not even the case. I just care about you and know that you are hurt and I want you to be safe. So at the race, we see Babe and it looks like he is about to take his place in the race. In this race, we have 3 ex-Hunter teammates on it to help get the team's scores back up from the Red Racing team. Meanwhile, Charlie is concerned because Babe is being real stubborn by racing, according to Charlie. Which I agree with Charlie, Jeff tells Charlie, just stick to the plan, okay? So it is a very intense race. Winner looks like he's about to win, but Babe comes out from the caboose and overtakes him. Winner is blocking Charlie and ends up running Charlie off of the road, and Charlie gets into a real serious accident. Then the members from X Hunter tell Babe that Charlie got into an accident, and Babe rushes toward Charlie way before the paramedics get there. Like, where the heck are the paramedics anyway? Taking their sweet and precious time. Anyway, Babe could have pulled Charlie out of that car and performed CPR on him himself all the time that the paramedics took to get there. So, Charlie is unconscious. And while all of that is going on, we then see Jeff talking to who we believe, I guess, is Tony or one of his henchmen. And he tells him, I did my part, now it's time for Daddy to do his. He's looking real traitorous right now, okay? But to be very honest, I feel like this is all a part of Charlie and Jeff's plan because remember, Charlie said in order to give Babe back his powers, Charlie needs to die. I wonder how Charlie even knew this in the first place because, did Charlie die before? Did he take somebody's power and have to give it back? Like, how does he know that the person he stole their powers from will get them back if he died? Did Charlie die before? And also, let's not forget, Charlie said that he would do anything for Babe. I'm assuming Charlie would die as well for him. Next, we see Babe arrive at the hospital with Charlie on the stretcher, going crazy. Like, Babe is so sad. He's, like, hysterical. His boyfriend's, like, about to get hurt or die. And then the rest of us Hunter team, they join him at the hospital as well to check on Charlie. Then we notice that he is starting to get his senses back, Babe. He can hear the medical staff and the machinery that's going on in the hospital, all of the people working on Charlie, and that can only mean one thing. So he asks the doctor, like, how's my boyfriend? But the doctor tells him, Charlie is gone. We see Charlie on a stretcher, dead, basically. Now pause. Theory time. Rewind it back to Tony knowing or not knowing about Charlie having powers. I'm starting to wonder, Tony may have had a plan with Jeff and Charlie to give Babe's power back to Babe so that he can take Babe back to, his mansion. Meaning that Tony did know that Charlie could steal powers. But it would be real diabolical if Tony made Charlie kill himself off to give Babe back his power just to get to Babe. I mean, I feel like, wait a minute, my theory's coming apart here. Because I don't think he wants the person, I think he just wants the power. You know what? Let's carry on. At the hospital, Babe faints. And as they are getting the doctor to see what's wrong with Babe, Ken is sneaking around the hospital looking at them and a whole scene before him, just like sneaking on him. And dare I say it, does Kenta look a little bit remorseful? And oh my gosh, y'all, the next scene, Tony is beating the fuck out of Kenta. Kenta told Tony that Charlie was killed, and Tony was livid. He wanted Charlie brought back alive, and that's why Tony was so angry at Kenta. Kenta didn't think that the accident would actually kill Charlie. So this actually does blow my previous theory. So Tony didn't want Babe. Tony just wanted the power, like I said. So he didn't care if the powers were via Babe or were via Charlie. Anyway, that leads me to theory number 2. Charlie and Jeff planned on Charlie dying. To give Babe back his powers, yes, but what else? Let's go on. And Kenta, by the way. Kenta will get real tired of Tony putting his hands on him like that. Like, I feel like he's gonna snap, okay? Tony is yelling at Kenta saying, you couldn't get Babe. Now you've gone and killed Charlie, and Charlie's stock went up by hundreds of millions. What an evil bastard Tony is to get Charlie and Babe just to sell them and auction them off. Like, he's nasty work, okay? Then Tony tells Kenta, go find as many special kids as you can, and if you can't, don't come back. Diabolical. Basura. And is it me, but when Kenta looked back at Tony briefly, he looked like he wanted to do some harm to him. And I'm all for it. I need Kenta to snap, okay? And the next scene. Pavel crying. Y'all know I have just something in my heart when Pavel is crying, okay? The boys take Babe back home after he fainted at the hospital, and Babe reveals to them that Charlie was a special alpha and that he took Babe's powers, and they could only be given back to Babe if Charlie was to die. And what's so sad is that Babe says that he doesn't even want his power back. He just wants his Charlie back, y'all. Sonic and North and Alan embrace Babe, and it's so sweet, and it shows just how much they care about him. After they all leave, Babe reminisces about all the good times that he had with Charlie, and he just remembers how real Charlie was and how much he really cared for Babe. That was really a ride or die. And die he did. Then the guys have a funeral for Charlie. Alan tells Jeff to, stay by his house. He doesn't want him to be alone. And that it's okay to be a little bit weak. He was like, Jeff, let me take care of you. And yeah, that is actually so sexy to me, okay? I'm just like, Alan, how can you be so sexy at such a very, very sad time? Also, if you can't tell, I do not think Charlie really died. He couldn't have. Now, how Babe got his powers back has me thinking Charlie and Jeff have something up their sleeve that we just don't know yet. So before Jeff agrees to stay by Alan's house, Jeff says that he has a favor to ask. And that favor is Kimmy! Yes, Kim is brought back to Alan's house. Alan asks, how did you get him? Like, how did you get him, Jeff? Jeff says he had a spy in Tony's house. He thinks that Kim would be way, way safer with Alan than in Jeff's apartment. So Jeff is working to protect Kim and just as many people as he can from Tony's diabolical plans. But too bad he couldn't save his own brother, allegedly. It comes to think of it, why did Tony let Kim out? Anyway, when Kim woke up, he asked Alan and Jeff, why are y'all helping me out? Alan was like, we have a common enemy, but we couldn't just sit still and let Tony harm you. He was like, Kim, I know you're our ops, but you can actually be a part of the ex-Hunter family if you want to. Kim said that he would do anything to bring Tony down. Then the sweetest scene between Alan and Jeff happens. Alan wants Jeff to stay with him, and Jeff asks, what are we really? What are we basically? Am I Alan's boy? Alan said, well, you can be. And Jeff said, let me decide and I'll tell you later. But he then walks away, and Alan is thinking, what the fuck? What's going on? But then Jeff spins the block and turns around and gives Alan a kiss on the cheek. And y'all, Alan is so happy and so giddy. It is really, really cute. And North and Sonic saw. They were teasing Alan about it a little bit later. But then the three of them, they did talk about how ex-Hunter Garage is kind of getting lonely. Way left, Dean is distant, Charlie died, and Babe is just MIA. He's missing in action. So Alan goes to visit Babe at his home, and he finds Babe on the floor looking at the video of the accident that Charlie died in. Alan was like, pull yourself together, but Babe he's obsessing over Charlie's death. He's like, I knew this had something to do with Tony. He wants to take Tony down at all costs. Alan is like, we have no evidence against him yet. Babe is like, I know how to get through to Tony. Uh-oh. Wait, and this would be the perfect outlet for Babe to be on some get back shit against his best friend, quote unquote, Wei, as well. So we see the non-lovers quarrel at the bar. Babe is whipping Wei's ass, throwing him around, and Wei is just like, what the fuck? Wei is like, Charlie's accident had nothing to do with me. He says he knew Babe fell in love with Charlie before Babe even knew he fell in love with Charlie. I told y'all the same thing videos ago. Wei clocked it way back when. That's why he was trying to get rid of Charlie in those earlier episodes. Wei also said that he felt guilty for lying to Babe all those years, but he wouldn't hurt someone that Babe loved. Really? But you would hurt Babe? Anyway. And then now Wei said that even though he did hate Charlie, and still does, he helped Alan and Babe build X Hunter, and he did not want to destroy the family that he built with them. But Babe was like, family. He was like, you destroyed the family a long time ago, Wei. They had to pull Babe off of Wei and out of the bar. The whole time, Babe is shouting at Wei, just yelling at him and stuff like that. So they both are still harboring some deep, deep feelings towards each other. Understandably, that was his best friend for 10 plus years. I get it. But the real question is, does it seem like Babe believed Wei here? Does he really believe that Wei had nothing to do with Charlie's death? So later we find out that the oil pipe in Charlie's car had been punctured, leaving Babe to believe that there was an inside job, an inside hit on Charlie, and that they have a mole in X Hunter. Alan said to keep it between him, Babe, and Jeff, and let the others believe that it was an accident that killed Charlie. Then we catch Dean, oh Deanie baby, being a traitor. He is working with the Red Racing team, and Babe catches Dean on the phone with someone from over there on the Red Racing team. Babe basically heard everything that he needed to hear from Dean, painting him out as the person who fucked up Charlie's car. Then Dean hits Babe with a hammer in the head, saying he shouldn't have found out. And y'all, I clocked it when Dean had first came back to X Hunter. I was like, why is he back? Dean still had his grudges against the whole X Hunter team, and now he is working with the enemy. He admitted to popping a brake fluid pipe on the car and not the oil pipe. Okay, so that's two separate parts of the vehicle that's broken. Interesting. So yeah, Dean was like, you shouldn't have found out. And Dean looks like he's about to try to kill Babe until Alan, North, and Sonic showed up to save Babe. And Alan, he stays beating the fuck out of Dean, okay? It's because Alan really cares about Dean. And he really, really wished that Dean would have done better. And I really think that hurts Alan as the team leader to know that, he couldn't save one of his own people. And y'all, I think it kind of hurt Dean too to even be traitorous, because when he kept saying, let me go, North, let me go, that really kind of fucked with me a little bit, because I'm like, he is really sad that he feels like the X Hunter team didn't see him for his potential and is not fair. But I feel like at the same time, he still does like the team, but he feels like they did him dirty. Which is no excuse to sit there and try to mess with Charlie's car and end up getting him killed, even though he said he wasn't trying to kill Charlie. His actions aided in the boy's death. And they end up calling the police on Dean. And all Alan could do was basically, after he beat him up a little bit, all he could do was cry over Dean, okay? For Alan, I would like to cry over Dean as well. I would like to cry over a few people in this show.